I fell asleep in his parents' car on the way home from dinner. He kissed me awake, and I imagined cruising country roads with him, stopping to kiss in a cornfield under summer skies. I whispered into the window, "I think I love him," and the glass fogged up with my breath. But there was construction, as there always is in Indiana, and his parents didn't think it safe for us to drive. My fingers twitched, wanting so badly to hold her hand over the console of her father's truck. The skirt of my princess prom dress spilling into spaces that weren't mine. I spun stories and told myself half-truths, reasoning and bartering, pardoning my fear. When she came out to me 2 days later, I praised her bravery and pretended I had found my own. When she kissed me, and I felt nothing, I convinced myself that the world was right. This was a phase, because if I didn't like her, then I couldn't like girls. I moved into his life like an eager tenant offered fixed rent. I kept clothes in the corners of his room and emotions in the wrinkles of his forehead. I lived safe and warm and content in the curve of his spine, protected and wanted and loved. He loved me. But the promises he made were not meant for my lips, and he didn't want a label. So I moved back home, dragging my belongings behind me. 2 doors down never felt so far away. Chin in palm, I focused not on abstract theories and concepts, but on the concrete way her face looked when she laughed. The way she rifled slim fingers through paper and scratched the back of her neck. She didn't notice me until she did, offering hard cider to the hand already holding cheap champagne. In the same way she hadn't seen me, I didn't feel the room watching us. We left in a whirl of mixed drinks and vodka from a Gatorade bottle. She kissed me hard and she kissed me soft. She pushed my hands from her body and gave me all the pieces she could afford to offer. The next morning, her insistence on friendship drowned out the things I wanted to tell her. That her laugh sounds like summertime. That her mouth made me feel again. That her beauty was powerful and true. I don't think she could hear me through the phone.
I lived in my sister's shadow, so how was I to refuse the only attention I got? The cutest couple was the gay boy and the lesbian girl, desperate to piece ourselves into their puzzle. He kissed me with a mouth wide open,
not meant for my lips.
I kissed him with my eyes open, imagining it was her kiss instead of his.
I think I love him,
I told my sister. I think I love her, I told myself. Her father let us borrow the SUV, and she would stop in the middle of the road,
kiss in a cornfield under summer skies.
I have never known danger in so many versions of the word. I
Didn't think it safe for us,
prejudice blocking every corner,
as there always is in Indiana.
When her parents found out, they locked her in their beat-up trailer.
My fingers twitched
when the caller ID read, "Baby." A woman's voice on the other end told me to stop
spilling into spaces that weren't mine,
or the mouth of their handgun would be the last one I would kiss.
My fear
would drench itself into tear stains on my father's collared shirt.
I convinced myself that the world was right,
carving cunt deep into my left thigh.
I couldn't like girls.
I began a new chapter when I messaged her on her 21st. Love seeped into my old wounds.
I lived safe and warm and content
in the bliss of new love last summer. The man in the club barged in through my lust, dragged me to the bathroom stall, and pressed my hand onto what he called manhood. There were urinals flushing, but I guess none of the men could hear me screaming no.
The next morning, I felt nothing. I moved back home
and met my heart on the Ohio River. She held my hand despite the stairs as we sipped our way through a bottle of cheap champagne. I fell in love with the way her face looked when she laughed.
She kissed me hard and she kissed me soft.
She is my war-torn heart, teaching me that love is complicated, strong, and true.